Ladies and gentlemen, how y'all doing? This is Colin.
And I'm Rangroo, hello, hello, hello.
And guys, at long last, and gals, at long last, here we have one of the semi-finals over here of the Divisional Disaster Tournament. Rang, who's duking it out, and explain what's going to be happening this week, please.
On the left-hand side in blue, we have Brigadier General Tur playing as 78th Sturm, and Robert playing as 44th Guard Infantry. This is the semi-finals. We're going to be casting the semi-finals and finals for this tournament as they've finally been done, and we can cast them. Essentially, the loser of this match will go on to the loser's bracket semi-final versus Right Eagle, and the winner will go on to the finals. So, there we go.
Rather interesting here. We do have these IL-2s that are out super early. Now, there are the 10 kilogram clusters, which, as we've discovered, are pretty much not really pants, if you understand my meaning there.
Yeah.
But now they're just kind of flying around. I'm not really sure why this guy's going to drop an entire load of bombs on a single Jeep.
That's the only thing he can kill with that, to be fair.
or maybe not even that. Wait, did he kill it?
I think it... This has been a bug I've been noticing in replays where something gets killed, but it just disappears instead of dying. It just gets sent off to the Shadow Realm.
Actually, I thought that the Wunderwaffe have now finally been shown. I mean, they were like, you know what? Our cloaking device is showing fruit.
The Germans got black hole grenades.
Exactly. Vortexes, yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. But early on here, of course, we have Strogs kind of pounding out on the entire map. Herr Robert's deck, again, for the 70th Storm, is an absolute bear to fight.
Yeah, there's really nothing there, and on a map like this, where the town fight in the middle is rather important, yeah, having not much infantry is definitely going to hurt. And Herr Robert's just doing a technical rush, quite literally, through the middle, with a bunch of technical trucks.
Yeah, I suppose you have to technically call that a rush. You're absolutely right. Humorously, though, we have 2 trucks getting left on the field, all kind of shattered. But the infantry slog that was coming forward, the counterpunch by Brigadier General Tur, is, well, it's now completely dead.
Yeah, and just looking at the point difference, Herr Robert's got 18 bloody flags already, and he is still pushing in pretty strong. I mean, up north, he's got a bunch of 50mm mortars and NKVD troops being brought in, so maybe they can do something.
Maybe they can, but the knee mortars here not going to do even scratch the paint on the Stroke, so I'm a little bit confused of what he might hope to accomplish. Actually, backing that up, is anything worthwhile? Nope. No real anti-tank, no nothing.
This is, at least, that's the one nice thing that Tur has an advantage over, is those Stooks are very much a pain in the ass to kill. There's not really much heavy AT or heavy tanks in Herr Robert's deck, so if he can position those Stooks in an open field with recon, he can shoot up a bunch of stuff, which is quite beneficial to victory.
I have to mildly disagree, because down south we have a trip of Zis guns. One of them is not able to see the most material here, but you see this entire southern approach. True, we just did see a piece of Russian infantry go down, but I mean, we have 3 guns holding up the entire advance.
Yes, they are, and they're doing a really good job. Just at HE fire support as well as the AP with those histories. They're pretty decent. And at close range, you know, those thugs they're not beaten up, not killed instantly per se, but thwarted for the time being.
They're certainly thwarted, that's for darn sure. Now, kind of unfortunately, these Zis guns, though, can't seem to hit the broadside of a tank. I mean, crew kills, crew panic. Wait, crew panic? The crew was just killed, so apparently they are terrified after the grave. And I'm kind of fascinated to see what happens to those knee mortars up above. Do you have any kind of barrages coming out? Not yet.
Nope.
Okay.
They could just, like, do a, smoke and then move, and then smoke and then move, leapfrog style. That'd be a very funny maneuver.
That would certainly be fantastic. Down south, one of those tanks has gone down. The IL-2s are back. And they're back to take with his Party of Furos and shoots and Furos. So, once again, Herr Robert's deck is heavily dependent on the Furos to go and get anything done, but they're in such small numbers, as befitting being, you know, a leader, that it's very difficult to get anything done.
Yeah. Roy's cluster bombs do anything. Holy Who the hell designed those bombs? I think it's just, like, firecrackers inside. I'm shocked and stunned. Yeah, they're just terrible.
Unlike most of the infantry just there, who are a little bit pinned down, but they're not really that stressed.
Yeah, we've just been bombed by 70 clusters. We're fine.
Down south, the valiant Zisguns have finally been silenced, and indeed we actually have a rush coming in of so Superiors and Komroti to kind of stem the bleeding there. And up to the north, ooh, first barrage coming out of these mortars. Let's see what we got. I'm excited. Oh, this poor Schützenführer. Oh my god.
Goddamn execution.
That is like watching one of those war movies where you know the entire platoon has to get taken out, and it happens in like a half a second.
Yeah, just the artillery barrage drops in. That was brutal.
I'm also kind of fascinated to see what happens if you go west. You have the Schützenführer and the Superior Komroti. My assumption is that this Schützenführer is going to probably take the cake, but I guess the question is, before or after T-26 dies?
Mm-hmm.
That was it. That was delicious line of sight there for a second. Oh my gosh, here it comes. Dude. I was gonna say, you're like 5 feet away. There's no way you could miss.
Yeah.
But we're back to 15-9, so the question is, of course, is this going to be a resurgence? And I'm not too confident that it will be, but I have been surprised before.
Yeah, Brigadier General is actually doing a pretty good job of slowly pushing back, considering his initial flag disadvantage right towards the start. I mean, this southern push is going rather well. He still has the tank superiority and even has a bloody Pack 43 down south. So if he can fight, you know, clear through the southern section and maybe maneuver his way up north and surround the town, you can just shut that down with good old long-range firepower.
Well, I somehow doubt he's going to succeed over here in the center. We have a brace of T-34-76s that will cause quite a bit of a hassle for anything that is blue.
Mm-hmm.
And to the north, okay, an artillerist battalion is going on in, so thank God for that.
Ooh.
But you're right, down south he could have something going here. I mean, he's got these flak 20 mils coming on up. I mean, the stroke in the front did go down. But other than that, I mean, he does have enough light anti-infantry to cause certainly some hassles here.
Yes, he does. The problem is dealing with all infantry. If you don't have infantry to route out other infantry, it can be a pain in the ass. He does have two Schützenführers, which are really his best infantry options at the moment because they're a 7-man squad. But we've got a bunch of PTSs being brought in, and they can cause a bit of havoc for those T-26s.
It certainly does seem to be the case. I guess that the biggest thing that we're going to be watching here is that 20 mil. These 20 mils might be the thing to crack open this particular part of the front, or might be enough just to see, you know, Brigadier General just sink entirely.
Yeah, I think he's been a little bit too aggressive in that moment as he's moving up very fast. We've seen the IR2s being brought in. They're going to do... Well, they might actually do a bit of suppression, which will be useful if he times it correctly.
Well, bombs are certainly away. And apparently it's more likely to crater the moon with those rounds than he'd actually do any damage. But the continual proof that the IL-2s are just way too damn durable. Jeez. By the way, we now actually have 3 82mm stovepipes moving into the center, so it looks like that kind of bastion of blue will get broken pretty quickly.
Yeah. I mean, definitely having that many mortars that are good ready to crack open any town fight. The problem still are the Stugs, but if he maneuvers those T-34s correctly, he can, you know, come out at close range.
That's true, and I mean, down south, for example, with these 4 PTRS squads, so, you know, if nothing else, maybe he'll just do enough HP damage just to kill it. I mean, dumber things have happened before. Oh, equally kind of amusing, we actually have this 20mm in the center, near the Dushkas. I'd love to see the Dushkas peek out, snipe that thing, and then maybe move back in.
Yeah, still has quite a lot of Dushkas alive, just ready to go when the time is right, I guess.
Also, how the heck did he capture a munitions vehicle?
What the hell?
Well, apparently traitors will not be not be dealt with lightly.
Better dead than red. How? I guess the recon dude did. It's one of the more bizarre things I've seen so far.
But he captured from like 400 meters away.
I know. He must have been very convincing.
I guess. I got nothing. Well, as of right now, we have the 82 millimeters to start to engage that. And one of the T-34s does go down, but you know what? On the Soviet side of things, I'm more than happy to trade T-34s for Stokes all day. That's in my mind, that's a trade up.
Yeah.
Biplanes moving on in to the north and south. They're 50 kg.
We got another stag being brought in down south, and a whole bunch of bikes. A lot of bikes. He's going for a bit of a Sunday ride.
Well, you know, it's one of those fundraising kind of things. It's a whole, it's a whole thing. Oh, the Dutch guys are actually engaging the 20 millimeter. That's one. That's two. This 20 millimeter is going to go and get. Yep, that's three. I think he's gotten 4 or 5 kills so far. Oh.
There we go. How does ground? Here comes the U2s. I see pretty decent bombers, all things considered.
That's true, but that U2 had a little bit of vertigo, if you catch my drift. If anything, it's shaping up to be a bit of a bloody Sunday, if you catch my other drift.
I'm catching all of these drift cards. I'm putting them in my little drift bag.
Oh, good. I'm good. I hate the drift everywhere. Now, it's kind of funny. We have these dozers engage these BMWs, and somehow, wow. I've actually never seen a motorbike dodge an a grenade before. But again, I don't really think we ever see a motorbike get grenaded.
Mm-hmm. We're just seeing a huge. I just love seeing this huge push of motorbikes. They're gonna go around and try to deal with the disco trucks. Like some Mad Max warfare here.
Yeah, for that. And for me, I'm thinking more of like stripes right now. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's one heavily armed recreational vehicle.
Yeah.
But yes, the BMWs are causing quite a bit of havoc, which is just weird to watch. Tango Camarati's moving into the south, as well as this giant chain of the AAA Maxims. So that's 6 of them right there. Yeah, that's a hefty number of.
Yeah, that's a lot of firepower.
Ooh, Stug and T-30 and T-34 are gonna play tanks at 20 paces. That was a really weird movement there. Oh.
Two grins just by a hair. Yeah, it seems like Herr Robert is probably going to be taking the victory here. Brigadier General did do a pretty good job of the fight, even though he hasn't really had the flag advantage throughout the match. He has been pushing. He has been trying to take back territory. His deck just doesn't have enough to take territory at his.
But that's what we've been saying about Herr Robert throughout this entire tournament, too. I mean, he's been brutal with the kind of material he's been bringing in.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, more Maximus getting brought on in, so I think every single last Maxima of Brigadier General Tur's anti-air squad here is getting brought to the fore. And the PTRSs did, in fact, take down that Stug by just sheer HP.
Yeah.
Yowza. But folks, yep, that's going to be at 16-8 the final score line here. A near perfect game. I actually think it might be a perfect game over here for Herr Robert.
I think so.
But when you get a deck like that, I mean, what do you expect?
Yeah, but look at the KD. It's relatively close.
It certainly is.
Yeah, and looking at kills,
Looking at losses, that's actually one Stug getting a couple of kills here and there. And I want to see that anti-aircraft gun. That got... No, he only got 3. I thought he got more than that. Oh, wow. But okay.
So rare indeed. But yeah, that was a pretty good match, all things considering. So, Herr Robert will be going off to the finals, and Brigadier General Tur still has a chance to reach the finals as he fights off against Right Eagle in the losers bracket semi-finals, which will be on Thursday.
Exactly, folks. So, you know what? I would say don't touch that dial, but you probably have a couple things to do between now and Thursday, so maybe just touch the dial for just a couple of seconds.
Mm-hmm.
But be sure to come back on Thursday. It's going to be a real kind of interesting match. But any last thoughts, Ryan?
None whatsoever.
Well, folks, in that case, then I guess it's time for us to say goodbye. Until next time, I'm Con Ulrich.
I'm Rangroo, take it easy.